Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Happy New Year's Eve. Wow. And welcome. Welcome to Morning Coffee with Mitch. As usual, my friends, drink it if you got it. Good to see you all. Good to see you all. Maybe you noticed the addition. Something new and something else for me to keep track of here. I got banners scrolling across the bottom. I thought that'd be cool. Anyway, I'm not gonna leave them there the whole time. Just like in the morning, just Anyway, good to see you. Good to see you, my friends. 61 of you. Wow, just punctual. Incredible. It's great. Well, it is. Oh, what a year it has been when you look back. Wow. Each of us probably had our own joys and triumphs and certainly probably our share of challenges. I know down in Florida here, it's always nice to be done with the hurricane season. At least for a few months we get a brief respite from worrying if our houses are going to blow away, but we're not the only ones. So many people out in the tornado alley there worry about the same thing. But it's over. We made it. We survived. Hopefully. Most of us are a few pounds lighter and a little healthier than we were last year at this time. I think if many of us, not me, but because I did this a few years ago, but if many of us look back at this day last year, we were busy making our resolution that this was the year we were going to be a carnivore. How'd that work out for you? I think it's working out okay for most of you and probably continuing to be a tremendous challenge for some of you as well. And if you made the resolution last year and the year before and you are about to make it again, work real hard to try to figure out what it was that derailed you. Put your finger on it. Go out of your way to try to avoid that, if it's even avoidable, when you start over again tomorrow. Excuse me, I have an itch in my ear under the headphone. Oh, man, it's always something. Well, it's a beautiful day down here, a little overcast this morning, no bright sun in my face. In the mid-60s, just cool enough to put a light jacket on. So I did, and got a bunch of show notes here to talk about, but while everybody's still piling in, let me say hi to the early birds, and there's plenty of them because I put this thing up last night fairly early, 7:30, 8 o'clock, and Rick, quack, Charger of Opar was the first one in at 7:54, followed by Aunt B. Tuka down in Finland or up in Finland says, "How are you, boss?" And you know the answer to that. It hasn't changed since yesterday. If I was any better, it'd be illegal. And Don Schonger checked in last night. Gary No Slow checked in, and they started chatting back and forth. Don Lee checked in. Maciel Ordonez's account, I still haven't figured that one out. Retired Rick checked in. Peter, 10:30 in the evening, checked in. And he's quacking up. That's cute, Peter. Lady June checked in last night as well. Nikki W. Hiya, Nikki, how are you? Nikki checked in at 4:55 a.m. Wow. Oh, Peter was at 4:33. So at least some of you got some sleep. Cliff Medina was here this morning. Sandy Blythe, how you doing? Donita Tess at 6:04. Good morning. Coffee Clutchin' Carnivores. Cheers from East Troy, Wisconsin. Good morning to you. Wayne Herman says good morning. How you? Cliff wishes all of us a happy new year. And right after 7 o'clock, Mike Silly Sr. checked in from here in Melbourne. Very foggy morning. Yes, Mike, you got that right. Tina Schweikerath is here. Patty Malden, good morning to you. Mark Booz checked in. Hi, Mark. Also probably a little foggy. Gary Arzamendi. I can't believe somebody actually fired off fireworks already, but I just heard a boom. Unbelievable. I don't know. I personally don't get it, never have, but evidently people just like setting things on fire and exploding them. Morning, Gary. How you doing? Granny Boo is here. Gina Cav is here. And Terry Sue. Terry Sue, good morning to you. Terry Sue says, Happy New Year's Eve, Mitch, and to all you sweetbreads. She called us sweetbreads. And if you didn't know what sweetbreads are, Google it. It's a little ooh. Yeah, I agree. I'm not a sweetbreads fan. I'm not an awful fan. You can give something any name you want. And one would think when you said sweetbreads, you'd be thinking about cookies and pastries and things like that. But no, you're right. And let me take a second right here, because everybody's been looking for the link to Terry's Facebook page. So I'm going to post it in the chat right now. And I'll continue. Remind me throughout the stream to keep posting this, because you guys can't post links in these chats. You can, however, post them in comments on any video. They probably will get held for review, and it may take me a day or two before I discover them in there, but eventually I'll approve them and they'll be out there. So there are ways to pass links along. YouTube does that so that people are not spamming my comments or anybody's comments constantly with links to whatever it is they want to sell or steal from you. So, but I look at them, and I don't get too many, but every day or two I go over to the place where I review those comments and go through the list of them, and a lot of them are spam, but there are legit ones in there. So there's the link to the Facebook group that everybody's been asking for, Terry, and let me know how that works out for you. Steve Studley's here this morning. We're at 8 o'clock now. Marla Kelly, how you doing? Smoothie 420 checks in. Jerry Bell, hello, meat people. And Richard Williams from Copper Hill, Tennessee. Good to see you, my friend. That deserves a sip of hot coffee. Yes. Everybody's talking about sweetbreads now. No, thank you. That's one video you will not ever see, Mitch. One recipe video I will never make is how to make carnivore sweetbreads. But I imagine all sweetbreads are carnivore. Bob Black says, good morning, 74 degrees here in Panama. Good. It's nice. Great. Pamela Suarez is here. How you doing? Got back from her walk, and she says it's 78 degrees in the British Virgin Islands. Terrible place to have to live. Wow. Mike Seeley checked in from Tampa. How you doing? Novadia Van, how you doing, Novadia? And Terry Sue, no thank you. Says I should ask Mitch a question. I already answered that one. I had already read that question earlier, Terry. And no sweetbreads. No sweetbreads. Don't need them, don't want them. I'm very happy with bacon, eggs, some beef, little chicken, fish, pork, That's it. That's all I need. We've talked at length about variety here, and I guess we'll continue to talk about it. Terry says, it's the longest 10 minutes. How do you think I feel? I'm sitting here with my headphones on, looking at the timer countdown, rechecking a few last-minute things, just waiting for this. And at exactly 32 seconds before the hour, according to what must be atomic time, the internet, all the clocks are synchronized to it. At 32 seconds, I click the go live button to allow 2 seconds for the connection to be made so that I can be as accurate as I can when the countdown is over. And I think I usually hit it within a few seconds. Is that a little OCD, or is that just professional broadcasting? You decide. Hey, Jody Drone Shots, my buddy, how you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. And we're looking for 8:30. Dixie Scott's here. Welcome, man. Who else is new? Aaron, Booby Goats checked in at 8:26. Sneaking up on it. I checked in. Called you guys coffee nuts. One of these days I'm going to call you coffee beans, because that would work too. But there's only so many names that I can come up with. Tammy Petard's checked in. Good morning, Tammy. Mama Bear was here. Haven't gotten to 8:30 yet. Oh, wow. Look at this. Lori, Pamela, Terry, Sue, Boyd Lamb. 8:28. How you doing, Boyd? It's like a horse race every morning. Wanda Gerlin, 8:29. People still saying hi to each other. And today's winner, man, the man right on the button, Mark Booz. Hi, Mark. You're the winner today. First one at 8:30, and then followed by Anna Kurzawa. Hello, she says. And everybody else checking in at 8:30 that I've already said hi to. Sandy Blythe, I think I said hi to you. But just to make sure I didn't miss it. And that was Rick. Charger Mopar won twice today. He was the last one to say at 8:30, say good morning, at 8 o'clock. No, 8:30, say good morning, and the first one last night to say hello. You're on the ball there, Rick. Good to see you, man. All right. So that ends the pre-chat. Got through that pretty quick. Okay. I should learn by now there's no use me being in a hurry trying to finish this thing by 9:30. It just doesn't happen. Usually it's 10:15, and sometimes even 10:30. But I have a fair bit of stuff to go through today. It might run a little longer. I'm going to be doing a 3+, who knows how many plus hour live stream tonight for New Year's Eve, starting at 9, because I don't want to do a 4-hour live stream starting at 8 when the goal is to be here when the ball drops. I'm going to have my TV on behind me. I'm going to have a camera on it so that I can put it on the screen. I probably will not have the sound on, but maybe right before midnight I'll take my remote and unmute the TV so we can hear what they're saying. And we're going to witness the Times Square ball drop right here, assuming I have not fallen asleep. And then you'll get a chance to see me snoozing. I can't imagine that happening, but I do not have narcolepsy, but you never know. You never know, guys. Put QQQ in front of questions today if you have them, but we're going to be doing some of that tonight. And let me talk about some of the things that I want to have planned for tonight, if you'd like. Yesterday I said if anybody wants to come in and just be a guest for a short period of time, let us get to know you, say hi to you. You can say hi to all of us. Send me a Gmail. And I got to tell you, man, the response to that was astounding. Was astoundingly small. That's what it was. Lori, you're the star so far, Lori. Lori sent me a Gmail, and I'm going to send her the link sometime right before the stream. I'll email it back to her so she can come in. Don't make Lori feel like the Lone Ranger. Come on, guys. And you can keep doing it even during the stream. I'm going to keep asking people to email me and I'll send a link. I don't want to publish the link in the actual, I would rather not, because I don't want it to turn into a panel of us guys talking about cigars, which it always seems to do when I have one of these panels on the live streams. So I want to meet new people. You know, I love all you guys that come in regularly, and I look forward to those things. But I want to see and meet some people who I have not put faces with the names yet, and let you introduce yourself to the whole community so that we know who you are. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. And if there's some technical difficulties, I got news for you. We're going to have plenty of time, 3 hours. We're going to have plenty of time tonight. And look out for this, guys. I don't know about you, but I love it. It's the thumbnail on the video. That's the thumbnail on the video that you'll see. Not the usual Tuesday night live thumbnail, but New Year's Eve live. And I even got the hat on and the balloons in the background. So I think keep an eye out for that. And we'll have a great time. A couple of quick things. I did put the link to the Facebook page in there. Why don't I do that again just to make sure? So let me paste that back in here. And, okay, let's just do that. And if somebody would remind me, if I get to actually see that part of the chat, I'll do that as we go along. Talked about the guests and the live stream tonight. I want to just, on a personal note, throw a wherever it may land in the great beyond and the great ether, I want to say kind of a half teary happy birthday, Dad, to my father. My father's birthday was December 31st. Today would have been his 123rd birthday. He was born in 1901 in Western Russia, in Eastern Europe, and came to America in 1911 through Ellis Island, eventually settled in Philadelphia, started a life, got himself educated, became a pharmacist, and it's hard to believe that that's all of that that happened that long ago is only one generation before me. 123. Happy birthday, Dad, wherever you are. I did get some questions. I got some questions this morning in comments because I released the new Make Your Own Supplement video yesterday. And I didn't get nearly as many questions and puzzlement as I thought. Evidently, I must have made it clearer, but I just want to take 1 second here, and most of the questions I got were things like, how do you know you're using enough of this? Why are you using so much of that? How did you arrive at the formula? Don't you think you should have used magnesium glycinate instead of magnesium citrate? Don't you think maybe magnesium malate would have been a better choice? I think you got too much salt in it. Okay, guys, okay. That really wasn't the goal of this video. Not once in this video did I make the claim that the owners of LMNT make, saying that their formula, through extensive research, is the best formula, better than all others, and their ingredients are the best combination in exactly the right ratios and all that. I never made that claim. My goal was to save frigging money and make an electrolyte mix that had about an average amount. And the research I did was looking at the ingredient list on every frigging supplement, electrolyte supplement that was being sold, because I didn't want to have not enough of something or too much of something. You can make anything you want. You can put anything in it that you want. I just showed you the methodology that I use to make the mix that I use, which seems to be the single most common ingredients and formula for an electrolyte mix. But it's so easy to do. It's a no-brainer. Find out how much of the actual electrolyte is in a serving. Find out how much you want in your final mix. Come up with how many servings. Look and see how much each serving weighs. Pour that much for 100 servings in a bowl and mix it with the other 2. Voila. For example, if you make my mix, but you want to have 1,000 milligrams of potassium instead of 500, just use twice as much potassium. And the way you find out the weight of a final dose is very simple. It's a no-brainer. Might not be exactly a teaspoon. But you weigh the whole 100 doses and divide it by 100. And that's how much the final dose was. It is the simplest math on the planet. And I told people in the video that if for some reason that confuses you, maybe you're better off just buying pre-made mix. But it does save a lot of money. Now, some of the ingredients, for example, the potassium in that bag, it says there's 5,000 doses in that bag. But since I use 5 times as much for my mix, there's still 1,000 doses in that bag of potassium. There's almost that many doses in the Himalayan salt. And you may be short just a tiny little bit in the magnesium because that's fluffy stuff and it's the brunt of it. But basically, for $50 or $60, you can make 1,000 doses. For $50 or $60, you can have a 3-year supply of electrolytes, as opposed to a 30-pack of Element for almost $50. That's 20 times as expensive, for God's sakes. That's the idea of this thing. And it's so easy to do. And when I'm not trying to walk everybody through the math and make sure everybody understands, I can mix up a batch of that stuff in 5 minutes, period. I've already mixed, this is my, I thought back, this is my 4th batch of that stuff since I made that first video. And that little jar will last me 100 days. It's crazy. And I got things, well, when I made it, the ingredients separated. Well, keep it dry, my friend. The ingredients will separate in anything if you let it get damp. And if you happen to have one of those little desiccant packs that comes in virtually every supplement, you know, you see them in there, throw one of them into your electrolyte mix. That's how Berg does it with his, and it won't separate, it won't get damp, and it won't, nothing, it stays pristine. It is a way to save yourself, if you figure it out, over the course of 3 years, well over $1,000 by making them yourself. So I hope that, I don't know if any of you guys were the ones that actually asked me those questions, but that was important. And if you have real questions or confusion, or you think you did it wrong, please contact me, email me. I had a few people last time. I had to rewrite the formulas and tell them how to use what they'd already mixed and what they needed to add additionally to it. Some of them ended up with really large batches of electrolytes, but they were the right formulation at least. And I'll be happy to do that if you think you've screwed up, so you don't waste the money on the ingredients you used. But just Simple math, simple math. Most of the time you only have to multiply or divide by 1,000 or 100. It's very, very easy. And just remember the cardinal rule. You never weigh anything in milligrams during this whole exercise. Everything you weigh is going to be in grams. The milligrams come in after you divide it by 100, but you don't have to weigh that. That's pretty much automatic after you make 100 doses to figure out how much one dose is. Okay, what else I got? I got questions about the thing. I'm not going to talk about it extensively, but if I forget to talk about it, remind me. The Sealy boys, Mike Sr. and Jr. are talking, and it's about time. I said I would do it after the first of the year. Have another meetup. Want to have another one here in Melbourne. I will go to Tampa if I have to, but I'd rather have it here in Melbourne. Towards the end of January, probably, I'll get with the Silly Boys. We'll try to pick a date. But think about it, and think about, let me know if you'd be interested in coming. I did get it interesting. I talked about it yesterday. I was going to show it to you today, but I'm going a little long. Maybe I'll show it tonight. So that's the show notes. That's the show notes for today. And there it is, one song at a time, Mitch. I gotta set that blues to stop repeating so it just stops when it's done. Excuse me while I light my cigar, guys. Get some of the housekeeping out of the way. Light my cigar. Have a cup of coffee. Tell you how happy I am to see all my friends. Wipe my itchy nose. That's it. All the old guy routine out of the way, out of the way. And I am probably now 1,000,000 hours behind in the chat. I left off. Oh, one more thing. Here's the new deal, guys. I'm tired of asking you to buy me a coffee. Just tired of it. I'm going to put the link up here. And if any of you care to, you know why it helps me. You know how much I appreciate it. But I'm not going to stop doing this every day. I'm just tired. I'm not a beggar. I'm tired of begging. The idea is if you like what I do and it helps me, you throw super chats at everybody else. I figure I'm earning it as much as they're earning it. So I'm not really ashamed to ask. I'm just tired. Just tired. If I wanted to be a beggar, I would go get a cardboard sign and stand with a bucket down there at the end of the interstate off-ramp. So here it is. Here's my link. It's simple. I don't need to keep posting it. It's just buymeacoffee.com/OldGuyCarnivore. Anybody can get to it from any web browser. You can do it if you want to. If something I do says, wow, that guy's really helped me, you can do it any time of the day or not do it. That's up to you. That's up to you. I'm not gonna, this is the last time I'm going to even talk about this. What I've decided to do instead is every once in a while, yes, you guessed it, a banner that says buy me a coffee, just to remind you that this is how I'm able to do this. Believe it or not, this is the only, if it wasn't for these buy me a coffees, I would be gone. I would not spend my Social Security money, no matter how much I enjoy doing this, to suffer the daily disappointments of YouTube ignoring me, not spreading my videos at all, getting horrible view counts because, as far as they're concerned, I'm spreading misinformation, going against the World Health Organization, something that has absolutely killed any revenue I might make on YouTube. So I have to, or I have to go away. I don't want to go away, so I keep asking so that I can keep doing this. That's where I earn enough money to keep this going instead of having to go out and actually get a job that'll pay me more than a few dollars an hour for the time that I spend. I hate to keep saying that, guys. I really do. And every morning I wake up and say I'm done, and I talk myself back into it because I enjoy this. I enjoy this. So, I'm not going to do that a lot, but it is important. It is important to me. I'm sorry. I have to talk about it. Everybody has to monetize their channels somehow. I could start running mid-roll ads. If any of you would rather me just run mid-roll ads, I could really greatly increase, and if you'd watch them, I would greatly increase my YouTube revenue. But I hate those things. I don't want to do that to you. I could get a sponsor or two. I could stop my video and make and do these pre-reads. You know, these commercials. Hey, this video is sponsored to you by Squarespace. If you've thought about making a web, I don't do that either. There are so many. I have my Amazon links. That's a very small amount of money. It's almost nothing. It's more of a convenience for you. Super chats. Google takes 30%. The only thing left for me is this buy me a coffee thing, and I'm just ashamed of myself and so sick and tired of sitting here like a beggar with a pencil box. You have no idea, guys. But I don't want to give this up because it makes me feel so good to know that we are helping people. I'm helping people. That's it. I'm sorry. I wasn't even going to say a word about it this morning, but it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. I hate YouTube, believe it or not. But there's no alternative for me or for us with this message. They are not set up to make Mitch a rich man. That's for damn sure. That's for damn sure. Not with this message. I see these videos as I watch YouTube all day. I saw one yesterday. It said, I filled a water balloon with mercury and popped it. Okay? Over 1 million views. This is what people want to see. Stupid shit. I could do that too. It's stupid. It doesn't help anybody. It doesn't solve a single problem, guys. Anyway, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. I need a drink. But I'm still happy. I'm still happy. My life is good. My life is good. I just enjoy this community and enjoy you guys too much. But I wish some people might participate a little bit other than the regulars that we have here. Because other than that, very few people ever, believe it or not, contribute to this project that we got going on. All right. I will stop talking about it. Let me get back to business. Where was I? Okay. Questions in the chat. Questions in the chat. I'm going to start looking through the chat. Well, it's only 9 o'clock. Well, that's not too bad. Not too bad. And after all that, yes, 3 people bought me coffees. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. My phone didn't go off, but let me thank them. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Someone, Jeff Johnson again. Jeff, thank you so much. You're very generous. Jeff Johnson. The name you know. I'm nurturing a friend to at least research carnivore, he says. Tough road to hoe, but if I can help even one person to adopt the proper human diet, then I've helped humanity. Jeff, you've just discovered personally the essence of the real reward I get from doing this. It's a great feeling. Unfortunately, you do have to pay bills and you do have to eat. And I've told the story, I've never hidden anything from any of you, of the disaster of what my financial life was prior to what I now call retirement, having lost everything before I retired. So I retired with only my Social Security. And I need to keep working till the day I die. And I only have so much time. And most of it is devoted to this. Because I enjoy it so much. And I don't need that much money. But I do have, everything gets more expensive for me too every day I go out there. And it does actually cost me money to do this. So thank you so much. Thank you, Jeff. Peter Desmere. Great service you provide. Thanks. Bought me 3 coffees. Jeff bought me 3 coffees. Thank you so much. Tammy. Thank you, Tammy. You're always so sweet to me. Tammy bought me a coffee and says, "Don't stop posting the link. We love you, Mitch." All right. Thank you, Tammy. I really appreciate that. I appreciate that. And that's what I'm going to do. And if I start going off on this poor me, I hate YouTube nonsense again, smack me in the face. Tell me to snap out of it, Mitch. Will you? Listen, I'm like everybody else here. I'm a human being. I'm an emotional guy, maybe too emotional. I try to be a good man. I try to be kind to people, help people. But I wish I could be a sociopath like so many and actually steal and hurt people and feel no conscience whatsoever. But unfortunately, I was blessed with an overactive conscience. And as a Jewish man, I'm prone to every frigging guilt trip that comes down the pike. My grandmother taught me that lesson. Oh, man. Oh, yes. Let me relight this and relax a little bit. And I'm in no hurry this morning. I really am. And if you're not, we got 164 people here. Wow. Oh, yeah. Very good. Very good. And all right, let's get started. Enough of that. And I'll check every once in a while to see and thank anybody else who happens to have shown me they appreciate me. And that's what it is. It's not a GoFundMe page because I had a disaster. It's just something I'm committed to do this every day and see if we can't help people. But somehow I can't take out of my Social Security to pay for it. Okay. Who else is new or any questions? Here we go. I am up to 8:33, so I am again, as usual, half an hour behind in the chat. You guys are talking about John Wayne movies over there. I can glance down, I've shown you this before, but I'll show you again. This right here is the chat that comes from StreamYard, so that when I click on those, I can show it in the window. This over here is a pop-out chat from the actual YouTube feed. It is what I get from YouTube. Clicking on it does nothing, but I keep this running so I can always see down at the bottom here the latest chat as they unfold. And I do glance over at that every once in a while I'm clicking on these things so that I can show it up on the screen. Ketra Naylor, Happy New Year. Good morning to you. Welcome. Terry Sue says, poor Mitch's head. Saw it in his electrolyte video yesterday. Looks like he wrestled a raccoon. You think? Look at my head. Look at this. Even back here, man, I got bumps and they're healing. They're healing beautifully. In fact, none of them are bumps anymore. They're just like little beginnings of a scab. But my head felt like the Rocky Mountains after I crawled out from under that house trying to fix my plumbing. It was crazy. I am going to set this foam thing on fire with this cigar one day. And that'll be entertaining. I'll be sitting here talking into a flaming a flaming microphone. How cool would that be? Hopefully this foam is fireproof. Although I don't think they worry too much about people setting their microphones on fire. Oh, yeah, Terry. I told you, I warned you about my head, and I wasn't going to redo that video again. I'd already made up all that electrolyte. I wasn't going to do it again. So it was what it was. It was what it was. Who else we got here? Questions? Any questions? Any questions? Life After Carbs is here. Chris, good morning, Chris. How you doing? Glenn Ish, hi Glenn, says good morning to everybody. And Jonathan is here from Alaska. Hey Jonathan, 4:30 a.m. here in Alaska. This is a great way to start the day. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year. And Dawn is here. Hi, B81 Mac. Good to see you. Harry Dion is with us. Glenn Ish has a question. Mitch, you ready for tonight's entertainment? Glenn, I was born ready. Thanks for asking. Thanks for asking. Oh, yeah, Mark, fireworks started here 2 nights ago. These people, they're crazy. I mean, they'll be shooting off fireworks until February the 15th. Any excuse to light things on fire, make loud noise, disturb everybody, send your pets and your dogs to the psychiatrist to try to overcome the PTSD that they probably get from having to listen and cower under the bed while lunatics want to shoot guns in the air, shoot off fireworks, make noise, and celebrate a new year that means absolutely nothing to them other than an excuse for bad behavior. Welcome to the human race, my friends. Yes, welcome to the human race. Jennifer Hip, good morning to you. How you doing? No questions so far. 172 people. Jonathan says, surprisingly, it's been a low snow year so far. Well, that didn't stop you from camping out in the snow the other day, did it? And Jonathan on his channel has starting to have some new camping adventures in Alaska. And he's a carnivore. So how it relates to carnivore is watching him try to stick to carnivore while he's in a tent out there in the middle of nowhere in the snow, trying to do it overnight in 20-degree weather. It's fascinating. And better him than me. We are in the Matsu area, lots of mountains. Yeah, that's pretty. Oh, I mean, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. Now, who is this? Somebody who wants to be old like me, the carnivore grandpa. Haven't seen you before. Welcome. Welcome. New to your channel. We welcome any other carnivore old farts. Tell me how old you are. Hopefully, maybe you're even older than me, so I don't always have to be the oldest guy in the room. Gets old. Yeah, you're right. It does get old after a while. Welcome, Carnivore Grandpa. And Lat is here. Hi, Lat. I don't see any questions yet, but I'll keep going. I'm at 8:40. So I'm running about a half hour behind. Let me glance over and see what you guys are talking about now. Some new people are still checking in. Lizzie's there. How you doing, Lizzie? Lizzie's sick. Sorry to hear that. Hope you feel better. Hope you feel better. Jonathan's still in there chatting a half hour from, well, he's chatting now, but I'm kind of reading a half hour ago. Carnivore Grandpa, I'm 75. Ah, shit. Man, I'm so close. So close. So close to somebody being older than me. There's one I know of so far that's in this community. That's Tom. And he's 87. And he comes around once in a while. Welcome, man. You're close enough. I'll be 78 in May. So I've only got a couple of years on you. So welcome. Welcome. Good to see you. And his wife is 77. Well, Your wife may be older than me. If she's going to be 78 before May, that would, you know, and we have a lot in common. I had 2 wives. Both of them were older than me. My first wife was 2 years older than me. My second wife was 4 years. Can you imagine that? And I've had some more coffees. I've had a lot more coffees. Wow, let me say thank you, Sissy. Seasci, SEE-CY. How would you pronounce that? Seasci. Seasci. Wow, that's the last pronunciation I ever would have imagined for that. I ever would have imagined. Seasci. I'll remember that. If I don't, smack me in the face. Seaside bought me 3 coffees. Thank you so much. Good morning, Mitch. Enjoy your coffee. Francine Monteleone bought me a coffee. Thank you. She says, we appreciate you, Mitch. Cecilia bought me 3 coffees. Thank you so much. Happy 31st of December. Enjoy your coffee, sent with gratitude from Boca Chica, Panama. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Arista Visser bought me a coffee. Thank you. She says, Happy New Year, Mitch. And Denise Kink, thank you, Denise, bought me a coffee too. Love starting my day with you, Mitch. Me and my husband are starting carnivore. She says, I'm tired of feeling like crap. The first 30 days will be hard, but your morning lives with this awesome community will help keep me on track. The prime reason that we're here, and you can do it. And with an attitude like that, I don't think it's going to be as bad as even you expect it to be. I think you'll breeze right through it. But if you have any issues, chime in, email me. Consider me your coach if you want to, for free. And if you have something that's really getting to you that you can't handle, email me. That way I'm sure to see it. And we can talk about it on the morning live stream, but I'll have it in my show notes as opposed to in a comment or a chat that I might miss, because that happens sometimes. But thank you so much, guys. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Makes me feel loved. I don't get enough of that in the outside world these days. I need to come here for that. Great. All right, where was I? I had Lat up there. Good morning, Lat. David Kane is here. Hiya, David. Good to see you. I don't know what you're talking about, but good to see you. Lizzie, how you doing, Lizzie? SM Chili in, where are you? Oaxaca? But it's all relative. Yes, it is. Here, this is a way to get me to see questions. The Carnivore Den wrote, question. Yes, I'll see that. What do you think about the government and big pharmaceutical trying to manipulate our meat by injections? What do I think? Imagine. You can imagine what I think. I think it's criminal. And I'm hoping that may be one of the earlier things addressed by this new administration. I think it's a lot more important than whether we're using food dyes in Lucky Charms. I think the kids shouldn't be eating Lucky Charms at all. And if the kids weren't eating the Lucky Charms at all, the necessity to make them colorful would go away on its own. So why spend $1 trillion tax dollars, have hearings and lawsuits and everything else to pass a law that you can't put these poisonous food dyes in food, when we should be spending all that time and money educating the public that not only shouldn't we be eating the food dyes, but we shouldn't be eating any of the food that these food dyes come in, and let's spend our money with that message. But that'll never happen. So yes, what do I think? This whole thing incenses me. You guys know that, and it's the reason, one of the reasons why I'm a crusader here. One of the reasons why I do this. How much good am I doing? Well, I've got 173 people in here, and I would assume that for 173 people, I'm doing some good. It's a start, but it is a drop in the bucket. And all the people are off watching some guy pop water balloons full of liquid metal. That is much more important to their lives than trying to be healthy. It's sad. People are so misled by propaganda. They're so steered like lambs to the slaughter. Laura's here. Good morning, Laura. Good question, though, my friend. Good question. Jeff Johnson, the name you know, says Happy New Year. B, Beige 54. Day 1 of carnivore. Not my first kick at the can. Still struggle with carbs. Well, you and everybody else, my friend, so pay attention to the things that I say about not letting yourself get hungry. You just got to do that for 2, 3, 4 weeks. Stop obsessing over your weight loss. Doesn't matter. And only concentrate on having food on hand, the right food. Having it always cooked, burger patties, bacon, hard-boiled eggs, maybe even, if you have to, even chicken breast or cold, anything, any kind of animal product that you can eat and eat until satiety every time visions or thoughts of carbs start coming into your head. Don't let them get all the way into your head, man. You got to slam the door on them before they get that first foot in the door, or they got you. And that's one of the problems. People don't react fast enough to the first inkling of a craving, and the craving will always win. That's the secret. That's the secret. Good luck to you. Stick around. Keep us informed of how you're doing. Oh, I know there's going to be a lot of New Year's resolutions this year. I know there's going to be a lot of new carnivores. I know that starting off in January, it's going to be a wild ride here. And we'll all buckle down, and we'll all do everything we can to make sure that you realize that anything that you're going through, you're not breaking new ground. We've all been there. We can tell you how we did it, what our experiences were. Not just me, but all the rest of us in the chat that consider ourselves successful carnivores now. And we'll all get through it together. Again, consider this, and it's all about carbs. It's very little else. So let's just consider this a 24, well, not 24, but 7-day-a-week Carbaholics Anonymous meeting. And let's just call it what it is, because that's the main problem. If we could just say, I'm not going to eat carbs, and it actually worked. What a glorious world it would be. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. We all know that for a fact. William McCartney's here. Hey, he says, good morning, everybody. Peter says, day 1 of carnivore. Okay, we saw that already. Joseph Stevens, question, how you doing? Is Ellen still your sidekick? I missed that both of you as a dynamic duo. Ellen can't do this every day. And I went into kind of a lengthy explanation yesterday about what happened. She's gotten herself, she started a dog sitting business, and it took off, and she's busy virtually every day running off to babysit somebody's dog. Or she also volunteers or gets paid for, I'm sure, to be a practice dummy at a nursing school, so that the student nurse assistants can practice. And between all those things and the tremendous amount of time it takes to get ready for these things and everything else, no, I'm afraid we're not going to see much of Ellen until she misses it so much that she comes around. And we are the best of friends. We still talk to each other. I mean, and I said, there's nothing other than that to it. Life just caught up with her. And it is what it is. So she's still a moderator on the channel, and we've seen her ever since she stopped actually being my sidekick in the penthouse. She still comes in when she can and participates in the chats and is a valuable member of the community. That's the story with Ellen. I miss her. We all miss her. But I can do it. I can do it. I'm doing it. I figured out a way, even though I get behind. I figured even though I have to do it at maybe an hour and a half or 2 hours instead of an hour, I'll do it. I'll get to all the questions. That's the main goal here. To be as helpful as I can. To be as helpful as I can for you guys. Tasca Patriot, good morning to you. How you doing? I don't think I said hi to you yet, but let me start scrolling a little faster here. He says it, or she. Oh, I don't know if Tasca Patriot is a he or a she. It definitely saves money making electrolytes. It saves tons of money. It only costs you maybe 5% a dose, 5% of what a prepackaged, commercially available dose of electrolytes costs. 5%. Wouldn't you rather spend a nickel a day than $1 a day? That adds up. Wow, that really adds up. And I'm telling you, if you don't have a scale, I think they're $15, $20. You buy one of those scales, it'll last you for the rest of your life. But other than the scale, you really don't need any special tools or anything. You just need to be able to weigh something to about a gram accuracy. But none of these doses in those electrolytes are critical. It's not like an injection of a drug. If you're looking for 500 milligrams of potassium in your final dose and you get 600 or 400, there's no danger. You can put 1,000 milligrams of potassium in a dose of this. That's what Dr. Bergs has. You need 4,000 milligrams of potassium every day. And until you took 10,000 milligrams, you're certainly not even going to be near overdosing on any of this stuff. So make it however you want it, but it's going to save you a fortune. Thanks for pointing that out. Thanks for pointing that out. And we have Peter chimed in. Peter's pretty quiet today. Good to see you. I just delivered a friggin' baby through my... Peter, it's too much information. Sorry. Sorry, man. Sorry I even started reading that. I will not be able to get that image out of my head for the rest of the day. Ugh. Okay, Meetups, happy New Year's Eve. Welcome. Good to see you. Good to see you and anybody else. Very few questions today. Probably maybe a good thing. But I need to start running 8:56. Yes, still 1/2 hour behind. And that's understandable because I take a half an hour usually at the beginning of the stream. Just welcoming the pre-chat people and going over my show notes. And by the time I get back to it, I'm already a half hour behind. Not a mystery. But I'm having a good time and I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to New Year's Eve tonight. I'm really looking forward. Looking forward to OldGuyCarnivore's New Year's Eve live. Look at me. Don't I look like I'm looking forward to it? Do you know how many stores I had to go into to buy that hat that says 2025? Do you know how hard that was to find that hat? The balloons, they were a little easier. But I found it. I found it. Unfortunately, I won't be able to wear it tonight. Because it's not a real hat. But through the power and magic of Photoshop, yes. And it is magic what you can do with those things, I got to tell you. All right, let's see if we can't hurry up here and get through this. And see who I haven't said hi. Ellen, speaking of, Ellen is here in the chat today. Hi, Ellen. Ellen says, well, CB, you know they just need... Okay, good to see you're up and around. I didn't see any of your entries in the current chat, so you must have snuck by over there when I wasn't watching. And look who's here. Tanya, Kitchen Witch, still rubbing my eyes, but good to see you all. Yeah, some days you just need to sleep in. Glad to see you. Glad to see you're here. Glad. Always good to see you. And Ellen is chatting with everybody. And Ellen, it's good to see you. You must be busy, and I hope you manage. I don't know what your New Year's Eve plans are, Ellen, if you're even still listening, but if you're able to come in tonight, not necessarily as a moderator, but even in the chat and join us, we'd love to see you, and I hope we will. So you've been chatting away. Bill Cook, I think I said hi to you, but if not, don't want to miss you. Don't want to miss you. Larry Ryan is here. Hi, Larry. Happy New Year, everyone, he says, and back at you. Back at you. The Peach Baron. Good to see you. Great electrolyte video. He says, or she. Thank you so much. Well, I guess it must be a he, because otherwise it would be the Peach Baroness. Cool. Thank you. Thank you for that. I came out pretty good. Came out pretty good. Jay Haggard is here. Hiya, Jay. Scotter is here. Look at all the new people that were coming in about 9 o'clock. Tracy Jordan. Good to see you. Good to see you. Bill Cook says my brother did a Mitch video. He is still not carnivore, though. I put it out on TikTok, InstaSnap, and the Tube. Thank you, Bill. Thank you. I never ask people to share. It's very important. I don't ask people, but most other people do ask you to share the videos, and I probably should ask you to share them, because that really helps the channel grow. Exposing people who haven't seen it before. So yes, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. And we've got everybody chatting away. I still don't see any questions. Boyd Lamb says stop. He's probably talking about my little I hate YouTube rant a little earlier, but I stopped, if that's what you meant. Probably the timing was about right on that, so. Boyd's a little bossy sometimes. He likes to tell me what to do. Little does he know that I ignore it most of the time. There's the John Wayne movie talk. James Ballou, did I say hi to you? I think I did. I think I did. And HWMO Liberty, good morning to you. Last day of 2024. Some people are saying, thank God. But I don't know. Hopefully 2025 will be a banner year for everybody. Not only politic-wise, not only financial-wise, but health-wise at the top of that list. At the top of that list. Guys, make 2025 the year. If you haven't already turned it around, that you turn it around. Sandy Bly says, Mitch needs a combat helmet. Yeah. I was wearing I was wearing a hat, too. I just beat the shit out of my head. I try to wear a hat always, but the hat kept falling off. But I'm down there on my back, and there's no room to hardly even wiggle around, and I'm trying to work and over my head, and the light and the flashlight keeps moving, and I can't find where I put the tools down. And I shouldn't be doing that shit anymore. And this one place I had to fix this leak was not the normal place. Under my house, I can usually crawl around on my hands and knees, but in this area, evidently the grade goes up, and it's very little space, and there's this huge main I-beam going right across between where I have to crawl in and where I have to fix. So I got to work with this I-beam right across my chest, all my back under there, pretty much pinned in. And it was that I-beam that got me every time, coming and going. Bang, right into it again. Every time I moved. And if a plumber didn't seem to charge $1,000 an hour these days, which I'm going to have to eventually hire one, because I'm still not done with it. Where was I? Where was I? Sandy Blythe is on the screen. Yes, the head look I should wear a helmet. I don't see a lot of questions, which is probably okay. Probably okay. Up to 9, 10. Because we're going to have a long live stream tonight. Plenty of time to talk about plenty of things. Francine Monteleon question, is there some reason you don't eat dairy? I used to eat some cheese. I've never liked it. Yeah, it's very simple for me, and I'm not saying this is advice for anybody else. I'm just answering your question. I never liked dairy at all anyway. I never ate butter. I never ate a piece of buttered bread in my life. I've told this story. I'm just not, I just never liked dairy. Never ate much dairy. I finally learned to eat some hard cheeses like Swiss cheese and the stuff that comes on pizza, mozzarella, you know, that kind of stuff. But I just don't like it. I never had yogurt. I never had kefir. I never would drink any of that stuff. I stopped drinking milk pretty much after I was 5 years old, and I'm just not a dairy fan. That's why I don't do it. A lot of people do it, and you have to just watch out to make sure you don't do much of it or too much of it. Some cheese can be addictive. And if it works for you and doesn't screw up your diet, eat cheese, by all means. But try to make any dairy that I did eat heavy whipping cream when I made my blueberry ice cream. So, you know, I wasn't beyond eating dairy, but I never really liked it, never went out of my way for it. Thanks for asking. David Kane says, hard to get to the link to tools you use in the kitchen. What can I afford going through to buy things we already buy? You can use that link. When you say it's hard to get to the link, if you want to go directly to it, and if you're still here, this is the link. It's very simple. You just go to this is the link to it. You just go to my website. This is a direct link to the page. Go to my website, OldGuyCarnivore. Click on the menu item that says links to stuff I use every day, and you'll be there. Then you click on any item, and it takes you to an Amazon page. If you specifically want to buy that item, just click on the picture, and it'll take you right to that item. If you want to buy something else, you can go to any item. And once you're in the browser in Amazon, you can search and buy anything, and they actually pay me a little commission. Not much of a commission, but a little commission. I appreciate it. It does add up to cigar money, if nothing else. So I keep talking about it, and I keep updating it because a little is better than none. And it doesn't cost you guys anything. So I hope that answers that question for you. Unfortunately, those Amazon links are only good in the United States because each country has their own affiliate program, and I'm not going to go through all of the work and applications and bookkeeping and tax, foreign income tax considerations for the few bucks I might earn by having those links work in Canada or the UK. Sorry, it's just not worth it. Not worth the extra, not even the extra bookkeeping. Thanks for asking. Thanks for asking, though. I appreciate that. How are we doing? 163 people, and Mac bought me a coffee. Thank you, Mac. Happy New Year, Mitch, he says. And Tanya Kitchen, which bought me 3 coffees. Thank you so much. Love you and your rants. I hope so. Tanya. Oh, man. I'd love to have you come in tonight in the news. I'd love for, send me an email. You may be shy or bashful, or for some reason you don't want to show your face. And I understand that, believe me. And no pressure, but it would just be a hoot to meet you. If you want to, send me a Gmail and say, send me the link, and I'll do that. And anytime during the stream you want, you can click it, come into the green room, and I'll find a time shortly thereafter to bring you on the screen, and we'll get to meet Tanya, the kitchen witch. She says, love you and your rants. Looking forward to bringing in the new year with you here. Yeah, thank you. I think it's going to be fun. And I think it'll keep us all, well, hopefully it'll keep us all out of trouble, unless we all bring snacks and booze to the party. Something that you might get pat down at the door, so don't try it. Don't try it. Snack foods other than animal products are not allowed, and none of us should be eating that late at night anyway. God, are we a tight-ass group of people, aren't we? With rules, we got rules for everything. I'm up to 9:13. I have caught up a little bit. And I'm looking through the chat. Life After Carbs has a question. How you doing? Hey, Mitch, how's the carnivore anthology thing you are going to put together progressing? It's not. It's not. For all intents and purposes, I have abandoned that project. And it's not worth it to me. It's with the way YouTube pushes my stuff out there, for me to spend weeks and weeks of 12-hour days editing and filming and editing and filming so that I might get 1,000 views on a video and make $4 would be the absolute height of stupidity for me. I'll pick it back up again if things change and somebody who programs the algorithms decides to lift the ban and stop throttling everything that goes against the crooked criminal World Health Organization's advice on how to be healthy and to not eat red meat. I'm sorry, I can't work that hard. I just can't. It's no fun. Doing these live streams are fun. I'm going to do the things that are fun for me, and I can be just as helpful to you. I can spew all that information in that incredibly lengthy video I was going to make, or videos, series of about 20 videos, or a book that I could write, that nobody buys books anyway. Unless I'm some famous PhD doctor, rocket scientist, astronaut, then maybe they'd buy my book. But nobody's going to promote my book. Nobody's going to promote me on YouTube. We're all rebels. We're all stupid. We are spreading disinformation that is killing people, and we need to be eliminated according to the world. And some things have to change before I work that hard again for nothing. I've done it for years on YouTube and never been rewarded appropriately for that much work. It's just the way it is. So thanks for asking. It's going to have to become a labor of love again. And at this point, it's a labor in frustration of throwing good time down the drain after bad. So sorry about that. I wish the answer, Chris, was better. But this information's coming out. And this forum, I found, is not only the most enjoyable for me, but it's the best way to make sure that it's tailored to the people who want to hear it, and that are those like you that ask the questions. What could be better? And if I happen to orate a particularly brilliant answer to a question that I think more people should hear, yes, I'll make a clip video like Joe Rogan and Anthony Chafee and the rest of the guys do, and make a standalone video about it. But still, my videos don't get any views these days. My first, go look at my first electrolyte video, got tens of thousands of views. This video got, last I looked, 1,300. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. I get paid about $4 a thousand advertising revenue because I don't run mid-roll ads. So I get about $4. So I made about $6. I made about $6 for the work to film that, edit it, put it out there, design a thumbnail for it, upload it, which takes about a half an hour or more. I made $6. Would you do that? Would you do that much work for that? This is a labor of love, guys. It really is. I keep telling you that, but now, when you start getting 20, 30, 40,000 views on a video, then it starts that up. Then maybe you make $100, $150 on a video. And if you do that every day, maybe you start making what comes close to the minimum wage. But when you're in the hundreds of views or lower 1,000, maybe you get 1,000 or 2. I've got videos out there that have hundreds of thousands of views, but they happen before They happened before. YouTube emailed us and said, we have just partnered with the World Health Organization, and our new community guidelines consider anything that conflicts with the World Health Organization is considered misinformation and is prohibited on YouTube. And instead of just deleting us, they actually just throttled us all. And I see that in all the guys. Now, the big guys like Ken Burry, he still gets a lot of views, but not nearly what he used to get. Sean Baker puts out a video, gets 1,000 or 2, maybe as much as 10 or 12. That's nothing. Nothing on YouTube. 12,000 views earns you about 40, 50 bucks. It's nuts. It's nuts. And I talk about YouTube so that you guys can understand the reality of what all YouTubers face. But the guy who's filling balloons full of liquid metal and popping them is getting paid $5,000 to $10,000 for making that one video. Is that commensurate with the good that he's doing for people in society? No, it's silly entertainment, something that we humans seem to place in importance above everything. Why the hell do we pay a professional athlete $20 million a year? A movie actor, $15, $20 million a film. How much good do they do society? Most of those people end up doing more harm than good with their political views. It's just sickening sometimes, the value that we place because of human nature. The need to be entertained is more important than the need to do anything else. But that's human beings. That's human nature. And we play into it, and it's big money in that. Not so much in telling people to eat meat, but it's okay. It's okay. I'm settling in. I find a niche and some way that I can enjoy doing it, and it's still worthwhile. Looking for questions. Boondock says, let the cows fart. My sentiments exactly. Actually, they don't fart. I think they burp. I don't know how maybe they fart methane too. That's part of the natural cycle of keeping minerals in the soil. It is not destructive. It is helpful in the long run. It is bullshit propaganda. All this global warming stuff, all this climate change stuff. Without CO2 in the air, there would be no life. Don't get me started on the CO2 levels, which are still at almost historical lows in the history of this world. That's a whole speech. I could talk about that for an hour, too. I've done a lot of research on CO2 levels. And our CO2 level now is about 400 parts per million. It's been as high as 4,000 to 5,000 parts per million, 10 times as much. And that's when we had things like the Cambrian explosion, which was 500 and some million years ago, when life just took off like a bat out of hell. That's because there was a shitload of carbon dioxide, which the plants ate, so they took off like a bat out of hell, and that led to the branching off of actual animal life back in the period called the Ediacaran, and the rest is history. And then, not too long ago, we almost killed off every living thing on the planet when our carbon dioxide levels got down to about 150 parts per million. 150 is the end of life. Any less carbon dioxide in the atmosphere than 150 parts per million, all plant life will die, followed by all animal life, because most the base of the food chain is the plant kingdom. Even for animals that are meat that we eat, they could not live without the plants. Yes, maybe man has been responsible for the increase of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere from approaching 150, which is death to all living things, and the 400 to 500 maybe that it's at today. maybe we were responsible, but there are so many learned scientists that say that the industrial revolution of man actually saved life on this planet, which would have otherwise gone extinct if we hadn't have started releasing so much of the sequestered carbon dioxide that was in the ground, in the water, in the ocean, and got it back into the air. So it's exactly the opposite of what all the propaganda says, is that our way of life, that increased carbon dioxide in the air, has saved life on this planet. It isn't killing us. And since we're still way too close to extinction levels of 150, I don't think demonizing carbon dioxide as though it were a poison is really the best thing to do. But it's very profitable. If you look at the carbon credit financial vehicles that trade every day on our exchanges, and of the people that are making fortunes, keeping us thinking that carbon dioxide in the air is killing us, when in reality, it's keeping us alive. Just another bullshit, money-making, corrupt, criminal scam that most human beings buy in, that has become part of the conventional wisdom that most of us spout every day. About being green, I'm so green, I'm so green. I'm so aware, I don't drive a big car. I bought an electric car because I want to save the environment from global warming. Oh, I'm so good. I wear ribbons. Oh my God. I'm so proud of myself. That's the average human being on this planet today. And that's what we're fighting. And since the animal rights activists happen to be right in the same group of lunatics as the environmentalist activists, they have figured out a way to not only make people think that they're saving the planet by driving bicycles instead of cars, but that by figuring out a way to eradicate all cows is going to save the cows. When you eliminate all the cows, you're not saving a thing. You're killing all the cows. Lunacy rules this world. Maybe if we got people started to get a little more healthy, their brains would work a little better. Oh my God. Yeah, boy. That's another little rant for you. Get me going. I got a million of them. I could sit and rant about stupid shit from morning till night. I think maybe a lot of you guys enjoy that. And I challenge any of you to research those things that I say and give me a reason why I'm not on exactly the right track. I know I've researched everything I ran about, especially climate change and global warming. All right, enough of that. Let's get back to it. You're still hanging in there with me, so obviously I'm still entertaining somebody. Where am I? 9:28. Yes, I am back up. Somebody just bought me another coffee. Boy, Happy New Year, guys. I appreciate that. Let's see. I do want to keep up with this. And Jane, a couple of coffees. Thank you, Jane, so much. Hi, Mitch. I'm 5 weeks on carnivore now, and so happy I found Dr. Berry Bella, the steak and butter gal, and you. Wow, that's great company to be in. Thank you so much, Jane. I found your channel so helpful for support so far, so a big thank you. I appreciate you. Well, I appreciate you too, Jane. Thanks so much for that. Beth bought me a coffee. Beth, appreciate you not reading Peter's Papa Carnivore's comment out loud. I started to read it, but I stopped myself. No problem talking poop, but you listening, Peter? She says, come on. I'm with you, Beth. I'm with you, but that's okay. That's okay. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? I shows you I don't pre-read these things. When I see questions, I just start reading, and if they come out like that, I have only one alternative, and that is to say, I think I have a sound effect here somewhere that is appropriate for that. I would go, you know how they do that with the record scratch. Yeah. All right, let's try to catch up here and get to the end of this, because it is 10 o'clock. 5 to 10. Okay, and I'm at 9:33. I am about 45 minutes behind. So I'm going to start flying up. Here's a question. Question from Janet 048. You have more views than Dr. Kiltz. Maybe you could have him on sometime. I've been, yeah. Well, the reason Kiltzy is like me. He doesn't need to make money on YouTube. Believe me. Unlike me, Kiltz owns one of the largest chains of fertility clinics in this country, flies around in a private jet, is one of the greatest people I've ever met. I don't envy him a thing. He's earned everything he has. He's a great guy. He's fabulous. This is a hobby for him, believe me, YouTube. He's devoted, and he works hard, and he deserves everything he's earned. I have nothing but admiration for him. And I've been on a couple of live streams with him and to a couple of meetups with him. And I consider him a friend, even though not a close friend. And I'll probably see him again at the next meetup we do. And we'll probably put out a little video. But you're absolutely right. But he doesn't push for views. He doesn't talk about YouTube. He doesn't do it. He doesn't care. And he still gets 400 to 500 total views on his 5 a.m. live stream. And I got news for you. If I came on at 5 a.m., I would not get that many views for sure, because who the hell's going to be up at 5 a.m., especially on the West Coast? So kudos to you, Kelsey. One of the top people in our space on YouTube. In my rank of admiration. I love the guy. I love the guy. And you would too if you met him. He is the warmest, nicest, most giving human being you've ever met. And yeah, when I have the opportunity to get together with him, we always will do something. But you picked a good one there. You really did. You really did. Okay, let me just cruise real quick through here. I'm sorry I'm not reading every one of these. I do see the questions, though. Questions: are all your electrolyte ingredients on your Amazon link? They are. They are under the subheading of supplements, and you'll see the individual supplements like the Bergs, and I still left the Element up there, the LMNT, because people buy that. But you'll see in the second row, you'll see the three. You'll see the 2 orange bags of the potassium chloride, the magnesium citrate, and the thing of fine grain Himalayan pink salt. And they are there, and I think it's like, if you bought a big bag of all of them, it'd be about $60. But that'll make you about, some of them will make more than 1,000 doses. One of them makes just slightly less than 1,000 doses. Cheap. I mean, that kind of money, you're talking 30 doses maybe of the other stuff. 1,000 is, for the same money, is a lot cheaper. Let's see, another question. See, you guys always get gone. Is it okay to mix beef, pork, and exotic meats like antelope, lion in a meat stew? I can't imagine why you couldn't. Can't imagine why you couldn't. I make mixed grills myself. As long as there's nothing wrong with those exotic meats, like they're spoiled or rancid or something wrong with them, I don't see how you could possibly do yourself any harm. I'm wearing my t-shirt under here that says, I may be wrong, but I doubt it. Always gives me an out. Always gives me an out. Like I always say, like the weatherman who never predicts 100% chance of everything. Always leaves a few percent in the other column in case he's wrong. And then he can say, well, I didn't say it was 100%. I said 95% chance. And I was right, because I predicted there would be a 5% chance that it didn't rain. That's fortune teller stuff right there. More questions, more questions. Ellen's chatting with everybody. Everybody's chatting. Here's a question with a big Q on it. Question from Peter Decimer. Does adding tomato sauce to ground beef make it keto instead of carnivore? Would you not recommend it, especially if I'm very carb addicted? Yes and yes. Tomato sauce is horrible. Most tomato sauces are pure sugar, not only because of the fact that tomatoes are pure sugar, but they add sugar to it, especially ketchup. They do make some low-carb tomato sauces, but they're still bad. They still have carbs. And if you're a carb addict, the last thing you want to do is eat any carbs. A carb addict on keto is a failure waiting to happen. I'm sorry. And if you don't fail on keto, it means you're not that severe a carb addict, and you can handle it. So what advice I would give to a severe carb addict like myself might not be appropriate for somebody that isn't that severe a carb addict. Just like the advice to an alcoholic who can limit himself to 1 or 2 drinks a day is not the same advice to someone that drinks themselves into oblivion every day and loses everything and ends up a homeless drunk in a tent under the interstate. There are different levels of addiction. So in order to find out what the answer to that question is for you, you have to be honest with yourself and say, well, I tried that and it didn't work, so obviously I'm more of a carb addict than I want to admit. And every one of us has all of our past experiences to go back and analyze, but analyze them through different eyes. Not wishful thinking wannabe eyes, but realistic eyes. Yeah, I guess maybe I am that much of a carb addict. Okay, maybe it would be better for me to stay away from tomato sauce altogether. Not just because of the sugar, but tomatoes contain a lot of toxins too. Tomatoes are very bad. They're nightshades. No, they're not. They're not nightshades. They're fruits, but still. The old cooks, the old Italian cooks would never cook, would always peel a tomato before they ate it because of the amount of toxins in the skin. So you don't need any of that stuff. You don't need any of that stuff, especially if you're trying to be a carnivore. And if you're trying to be a keto, you have to see whether you can stick to it. Keep that carb count below 20. That's hard to do with tomato sauce. And you're feeding your addictions. The fact that you even want tomato sauce means you're feeding your addictions. But that's a good question. That's a great question. And let's see what we got here. We are 9:53. Okay, catching up at the end. 150 people still here. I miss anybody in the Rumble chat? Panama Bob was over there, and the Sealy boys. Good to see you too. More questions. Terry Sue says, Kiltz is smart and funny, but he's not my type. I choose Mitch. Well, the main difference between me and Kiltz, and I mean, I'll be honest about this, is the religion stuff. That's it. The message is the same. The carnivore message is the same. We both believe all that stuff. But Kiltz has a tremendously religious overtone to his live streams. And for some people, that's very, very helpful. And maybe the reason that they in particular are watching him. I happen to go completely the other way. And I don't have any of that stuff in mind. So choose your poison, I guess. Choose your poison. And I certainly don't hold it because Kiltzy and I have had discussions, personal discussions about religion. It turns out we actually believe the same thing. And I don't want to get into that now, but I just express what I believe in maybe some slightly different terms that non-religious people can identify with. And Kiltsy expresses his beliefs in terms that deeply religious people can identify with. But what we're both saying is pretty much the same damn thing. And I'll leave it at that for now. I know that sounds confusing. I've explained it to you all before. And the problem with explaining it to you all is there's only 100 and something of you all, and that means there's always people that never heard what I said or never watched a video that I made. So I always have to assume I'm talking to a new audience. Ribeye Susie, how you doing? Ellen is still here chatting away. I am up to 9:59, 5 minutes till the end. And coming down the home stretch, and I get a question. DS111, I was prescribed something called ketoconazole cream, 2% for my face due to a minor fungus. Have you used it? They told me to use it for a month. My skin looks better, but I will stop soon. No, I'm trying to think how you pronounce it. I have a tube of that. It's an antifungal cream. It's harmless. It works. I use it occasionally. I used it when I first had eczema. That's when, but occasionally, I get a flare up, not once a year, of a little athlete's foot. I'll use it for that. I think the tube that I have is getting to be years old. It's harmless. It won't hurt you, and it's effective. It's an antifungal, which can't hurt you. Believe me, if you got fungus growing on your skin, you want to kill it. And yeah, I have it. Ketoconazole is how you pronounce it. You added a few extra N's and A's in there. It's ketoconazole cream. And stuff's expensive. I think it's like $100 a tube or something. Prescription. I wouldn't worry about that. Stuff's okay. I've had personal experience with it. I'm still living to tell the story. And coming down the home stretch, looking for the last question, 10:06. Man, I am within minutes. And I am there, and whoa, almost made it. HWMO Liberty says, what's your normal breakfast, and do you do intermittent fasting? Yes, anybody that has watched any of my stuff at all knows I eat 2 meals a day. My first meal's between 11 and 12. I don't eat first thing in the morning. What I eat, my first meal is 6 out of 7 days, and sometimes 7 out of 7 days, bacon and eggs. I eat my second meal 3 to 4 hours later, and it's usually a pound of meat. For the rest of the day, from 4 o'clock in the afternoon until 11 or 12 the next day, I am fasting. So the answer is my normal breakfast is bacon and eggs, if you call it breakfast. Some people would call it lunch. I call it my first meal of the day. I'm never really hungry. I'm never hungry after I eat. I'm never hungry after I eat my second meal of the day. I'm never hungry when I wake up in the morning. I could always say, well, I could eat, but I never feel deprived of food. On that schedule, eating the foods that I eat, it is the easiest thing. No torturous cravings, no hunger, no thoughts of food. It works. So that's the answer to that question. And Agent 87 says, need a new air fryer. Which one is the best deal? I don't know. I still tend to use that Ninja 7-in-1 most myself. I don't know what it's going for. I haven't bought an air fryer in a while. I do, after all, have 5 of them. And that's it. We are at the bottom, and it is 10 after 10. Holy cow. I need to catch my breath, guys. So instead of asking more questions now, finish up your conversations. Take a few minutes. I'm going to have a few more sips of my coffee. I still got almost half a cup left. I've got to save a little energy for a marathon live stream tonight, late. I want to take a second and make sure I've thanked everybody that did buy me a coffee. Thank you so much, people. Thank you so much. You can do that any time of the day that your little heart desires, and certainly you'll be able to do that again tonight during the New Year's live stream, and we'll take this year out with a bang. Remember, get brave. Come on in and meet us tonight. Send me an email asking for a link, and I'll send it to you. And if not, it'll be me and Lori. Or just me most of the time. But that's okay, too. That's okay, too. It's going to be warmer here in Florida, not real cold. I'm going to do it outside here with the TV behind me. I'm going to have a separate camera right on the TV so I can actually do one of these numbers with me down in the bottom and then the big TV taking up the rest of the screen so we can welcome in the new year. And then, I don't know about you, but after all of that, I'm probably going to be in a mild hurry just to shut it down and go to bed. Fortunately, on Wednesday morning, New Year's Day, I'm not going to Sam's Club, but my live stream starts at 10, so it'll work out great. I don't have to get up at 4 in the morning. So I'm looking forward to that. We're going to have some fun, and hopefully I'll get a big crowd in there. Who knows? Who knows? So, One minute and 45 seconds, guys, till this song ends. Do your final housekeeping. Say goodbye to all your friends in the chat. Dance a little. Get happy. Some happy music. Yes. And everybody saying goodbye to everybody else. Good to see you. Thomas Pruitt, Anna Kurzawa, Ellen Latt, Jemmet, DS111 Ribeye, Susie, Gina Cav. Goodbye to all of you. Great to see you. You're still chatting away. Ampy says, Mitch, have a great rest of the day until we see you later. I will. I intend to. Wanda Gerling says, have a great day. B81 Max says, Happy New Year, everyone. Rick, Happy New Year. I hope I will be driving my truck again in 2025. Rick, we're all pulling for you, man. Grace the Lily says goodbye. Terry Sue, bye. If we don't see each other tonight, see you next year. Okay, Terry, you have a very happy new year. And that's the end of that. So, my friends, with that, I can't give you the entire day off because class starts again at 9 p.m. tonight. But until 9 o'clock, take that much of the day off, my friends, and eat meat.